Taylor Sheridan wrote two of the best neo-westerns ever made just before Yellowstone released. In 2018, Taylor Sheridan burst onto the scene with his hit series, Yellowstone. Yet some may be surprised to learn that the writer, director, and producer helped make two outstanding neo-western movies before that. Despite gaining popularity in the late 2010s, Sheridan has been in the entertainment industry since the late 1990s. He has worked as an actor, a screenwriter, a producer, and a director on various projects, from the action hit Sicario to the recent Paramount Plus show, Landman. However, some of Sheridan's most underrated accomplishments and some of his best works are his neo-western movies. Over the course of his career, Sheridan has worked on 8 movies and 9 television series. Although he is well known for his western stories, he has also delved into other genres such as action, horror, and crime. For example, 2015 Sicario tells the story of an FBI agent recruited to join a task force against the war on drugs. Meanwhile, his most recent cinematic project, Feinskind, explores the complex relationship between two estranged brothers who find themselves in the midst of a criminal organization. Admittedly, though, these films may not be quite as compelling as Sheridan's two neo-westerns. Two Sheridan movies that you cannot miss are Hell or High Water and Wind River. The former was released in 2016 and follows a single father and his convict brother who carry out a heist in order to save their family ranch. The film stars Chris Pine, Ben Foster, and Jeff Bridges. Then the following year, Sheridan wrote and directed Wind River, which centers on the murder of a woman on a reservation and the investigation carried out by a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service tracker and an FBI agent, played by Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, respectively. Both Hell or High Water and Wind River are incredible neo-western films. Hell or High Water boasts a certified fresh 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, while Wind River comes in just a bit lower, at 87%. What sets these films apart from others in the genre is their ability to tell a compelling story that perfectly blends classic Western tropes with modern-day scenarios. Viewers get to see the cowboy's traditional struggle of good and evil, set in a context that is fresh and relatable. Overall, Sheridan's writing is unwavering and pierced through with authenticity. There is no doubt that Yellowstone is a fantastic series and perfect for Western fans, but even then, Sheridan's movies may be even better. In just a couple of hours, audiences can see Sheridan's writing and direction at its finest, wrapped into an entertaining and moving storyline. Whether you have seen Yellowstone or not, Hell or High Water and Wind River are both definitely worth watching. Arguably, these prove more than anything why Sheridan has become a star. Fortunately, these two films are not the last viewers will see of Sheridan on the big screen. Although he is busy working on several ongoing series like Lioness and Tulsa King, Sheridan also has plans for a film adaptation of the nonfiction book, Empire of the Summer Moon, which follows the years-long conflict between the Comanche Native Americans and white settlers. With this movie and others, hopefully Taylor Sheridan can prove that his talent goes beyond the small screen. Before Yellowstone cemented Taylor Sheridan as a household name in television, he had already delivered two of the greatest neo-westerns of the modern era, Sicario, 2015, and Hell or High Water, 2016. These films didn't just redefine the Western genre. They proved that Sheridan had an unparalleled ability to blend traditional frontier themes with contemporary struggles, painting an unflinching portrait of the American West in transition. Sicario, 2015, a brutal descent into the border war. Sheridan's first major breakthrough came with Sicario, a harrowing thriller directed by Denis Villeneuve. The film follows FBI agent Kate Macer, Emily Blunt, as she is recruited into a covert task force led by the mysterious Matt Graver, Josh Brolin, and the enigmatic Alejandro Gillick, Benicio del Toro. As the team navigates the deadly cartel war along the U.S.-Mexico border, Macer quickly realizes she has entered a world where morality is a fluid concept and the law is merely a suggestion. While Sicario is more of a crime thriller on the surface, its DNA is unmistakably Western. The sprawling desert landscapes, lawless territories, and themes of frontier justice all harken back to the traditional Westerns of the past. However, Sheridan flips the script by showing a West where honor is irrelevant and survival demands compromise. The villains aren't outlaws in black hats. They're cartel leaders wielding unimaginable power, and the so-called heroes are forced to blur ethical lines just to maintain a fragile sense of control. At the heart of Sicario is Alejandro, a tragic anti-hero who operates outside the bounds of conventional justice. His quest for vengeance, rooted in the personal loss of his family to cartel violence, embodies the lone gunslinger trope, but in a darker, more modern fashion. His actions leave the audience questioning whether justice still has a place in a world ruled by chaos. Sheridan's script is lean yet poetic, balancing sparse dialogue with a simmering tension that builds throughout the film. Every conversation feels loaded with subtext, every silence heavy with meaning. Combined with Roger Deakins' masterful cinematography and Johan Johansson's haunting score, Sicario isn't just a great neo-Western. It's an indictment of the corruption and futility that define the new frontier. Hell or High Water, 2016. A tale of desperation and legacy. 1 year after Sicario, Sheridan struck gold again with Hell or High Water, directed by David Mackenzie. This film trades the cartel war for a more personal struggle, focusing on two brothers, Toby, Chris Pine, and Tanner Howard, Ben Foster, who embark on a bank-robbing spree across West Texas to save their family ranch. On their trail is grizzled Texas Ranger Marcus Hamilton, Jeff Bridges, whose pursuit of the brothers serves as both a manhunt and a meditation on time, duty, and inevitability. If Sicario is a descent into darkness, Hell or High Water is a tragic elegy for the American dream. The film captures the slow death of small-town America, where banks prey on struggling ranchers and the landscape itself seems weary. The Howard brothers aren't robbing for thrills. They're fighting back against a system that has already written them off. Their crime spree feels less like a rebellion and more like an act of desperation, a modern equivalent of cowboys trying to outrun their fate. Sheridan's writing shines in the way it captures the rhythms of Texas life. Conversations feel lived in, from the banter between the Rangers to the quiet moments between Toby and his estranged family. There's a particular scene in a roadside diner where an elderly waitress dictates what the lawman can and cannot order. It's an unnecessary moment in the grand scheme of the plot, yet it speaks volumes about the world these characters inhabit. Sheridan understands that Westerns aren't just about shootouts and horseback chases. They're about the people, the land, and the inescapable weight of history. Toby and Tanner represent two sides of the classic outlaw archetype. Toby is methodical, hoping to secure a better future for his sons, while Tanner is reckless, embodying the doomed cowboy who knows his time is running out. Their dynamic is heartbreaking because it feels real. Two men who love each other yet are destined to end in tragedy. When the final showdown arrives, it's not a blaze of glory, but a quiet, inevitable conclusion. Hell or High Water understands that the West wasn't won by gunfights alone. It was shaped by sacrifice, hardship, and the quiet erosion of dreams. The precursor to Yellowstone. With these two films, Sheridan set the stage for what would become Yellowstone in 2018. The Dutton family saga echoes the themes found in Sicario and Hell or High Water. Land as both legacy and battleground, moral ambiguity in the face of survival, and the inevitable clash between old-world values and modern realities. Yellowstone takes these ideas and expands them into an epic, multi-generational story, proving that Sheridan's voice is not only unique but necessary in today's entertainment landscape. By the time Yellowstone premiered, Sheridan had already demonstrated his mastery of the neo-Western. Sicario and Hell or High Water showed his ability to dissect the mythos of the American West, presenting a land where heroes don't wear white hats and justice is rarely served cleanly. These films weren't just warm-ups for Yellowstone. They were proof that Taylor Sheridan was already a force to be reckoned with, reshaping the Western for a new generation. As Yellowstone continues to thrive and Sheridan expands his storytelling empire, 1883, 1923, Tulsa King, it's worth remembering that his journey began with two films that challenged and redefined the Western genre. If Sicario and Hell or High Water were any indication, Sheridan wasn't just reviving the Western, he was revolutionizing it.